What's going on, you guys? So check it, right? Lately I've been listening to a lot of music, going back and forth between certain artists who dropped some new material recently, and I feel as if I came across something interesting. Now, just to let you guys know what I'm talking about, I have this feeling that Reece and Shane have low-key been going at each other in some of their records. Now, I obviously don't think these guys have serious beef between one another, but I do feel as if they have been addressing each other subliminally. So I do feel as if it's worthy of breaking down some of their bars just to get a better understanding of what has actually been said. Now, starting with Shane, right? He dropped his sophomore album Green just over a month ago, and on his record Street Fighter, I do feel as if he was addressing Reece with some of the bars where he goes on to say, "I just checked the stats, we pound for pound, just check the stats, we John for John." And he later follows up by saying, "Flew across the borders, we let the low boys drive. Yeah, I'm coming in harder. This right here's the fire starter. I got the cross on me, said that our father. I let my hair grow long, then I put the DNA in my songs. You let the beat breathe, do you wrong?" Now, those first two lines where Shane talks about checking the stats and being pound for pound, he's clearly talking about being on the same level as niggas when it comes to the numbers, in terms of how many streams they're able to accumulate overall, as well as where they chart in regards to top albums or top hip-hop albums on Apple or Spotify. I mean, just recently, he reached a new milestone by achieving 16.6 million streams. So he is doing quite well in terms of the numbers. Now, I know Spotify has another metric as well, which is how many monthly listeners an artist is able to accumulate, which Reece has been criticized for because he didn't make the top 10 list for monthly listeners. Now, these lines that Shane said are crucial because they essentially lay the foundation for the back and forth between himself and Reece. But moving along though, I think the line where Shane says, "You let the beat breathe, do you wrong?" Well, I think it's another jab at Reece because whenever Reece raps, he usually lets the beat breathe for a while once he's done with his verse, sometimes before his verse as well. Now, even though it's probably a small group of people who don't appreciate that from Reece, I just feel as if it's something else that Shane is using to take shots at Baby Boy. Now, moving on to Reece, I have been listening to him a lot lately, just going back and forth between his most recent tracks. And I do feel as if I picked up some subliminal lines that you could say are directed towards Shane. Now, on Couldn't Have Said It Better Part 3, Reece goes on to say, "It's hard to keep score. They say that only losers check the scoreboard." Now, it's clear that Reece recognizes that he pretty much stays charting for his projects ever since he dropped From Me to You and Only You. I mean, just last year on Spotify alone, he had 2 projects placing in the top 5 most streamed hip-hop albums. I mean, he just hit 6 million streams for Today's Tragedy, Tomorrow's Memory on Spotify. And just this past week, he had the top 2 hip-hop project with The Burning Tree, going back and forth with Pusha T, who dropped his latest album, It's Almost Dry. So it's understandable as to why Reece says it's hard to keep score, because this nigga's hitting new numbers every other week and reaching new milestones every other month. Now, the following line where he said, "They say that only losers check the scoreboard." Well, I feel as if it was a slight shot at Shane because we just broke it down and he's checking the stats. He's pound for pound with niggas, where Shane is checking the scoreboard. But according to Reece, you're a loser if you're doing so. Now, maybe from Reece's view, he sees it as a thing of if you're already winning or you stay winning, then there's no need for you to check the stats or check the scoreboard. Let's put it like this. If you have to check the numbers, then you're probably playing catch up and trying to equalize with the competition, instead of just focusing on yourself and letting your craft do the talking for you and getting the numbers you want so you can compete with the rest. Now, moving on to Reece's latest project, The Burning Tree, I think more shots were directed at Shane once again. Now, in Red Dragon, we have Reece featuring Jody, and I feel as if Big Bro took it upon himself to go at Shane instead of Reece doing so. And I'm only saying this because Reece goes on to say, "I ain't gotta pay no shooter, cause my bro is my hitter. They should reconsider." And just to reinforce what I'm talking about in the track, Jody goes on to say, "We can go pound for pound, my nigga, but look at the board we crushing, you fronting." Now, guys, just that line alone where Jody says, "We can go pound for pound, my nigga, but look at the board we crushing." Like, come on, guys. He's clearly referring to Shane. I mean, once again, Shane did say, "I just checked the stats, we pound for pound." But Jody wants Shane to be aware that Baby Boy is crushing it when it comes to the numbers. I mean, I just went through some of the stats of Reece earlier on with you guys, and I guess taking all those stats, all those numbers which Reece is doing, while Jody believes Shane is fronting if he thinks he's pound for pound in comparison to Reece and himself. So it's clear that Jody doesn't mind defending Reece when he feels it's necessary. as Reece did say that Jody is his hitter. But I think all of this is just friendly competition. I mean, hip-hop is a competitive sport, so I do believe these guys are just trying to prove who's the best amongst each other, because as I said before, I don't think there's any beef with these two. Just a friendly rivalry amongst two of the top niggas in the game. And let me also say this, these two niggas are my top 2 favorite rappers in the game, so in no way am I trying to cause any beef between them. We're just analyzing bars here, so don't take this personal as some of you tend to do. But you guys let me know your thoughts on this. Do you feel as if Reece and Shane were going at each other with Jody in the mix as well? Or do you think I was reaching with my take? Comment down below. Anyways guys, thanks for tuning in and I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found the content dope, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's on to the next one. Peace.